It was.
Okay. It was a close game either way. Yeah.
Okay, I think it was.
And very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle with your host, Coach Muddle.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. My new location.
He's somewhere different every day. It's crazy.
Every day, you got to keep moving, man. You know, keep getting these threatening texts that, state police are after me. So, but how it rolls. We're here. But again, of course, I didn't mush anybody last night. As a matter of fact, I helped the Yankees get over the hump there. Finally, Stanton does something, because honestly, stop hailing Stanton as something, because it's the ALDS. It's not the World Series. And unless you win the World Series, no one cares what you did in anywhere else. All right, I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Angela popped in. Coach, when Angela stopped in too, I think the A's are in trouble. I think losing yesterday was the game they needed to win. Bassett, their best pitcher, was pitching, and McCullers was going for the Astros. They had Valdez today, and then they got, I think, Greinke in Game 3. So if the A's don't win Game 1, I knew it wasn't setting up good for them. Just like with the Yankees last night. If they didn't win last night, it wasn't setting good for them. But Cole going Game 1.
Well, before you say anything else, you are wrong again, Coach. Top of the fucking ninth. 5. Thank you. End of conversation.
Well, a win is a win, though, for the Yanks.
No, I'm just saying.
He was wrong with that.
He was wrong.
Okay.
The game was in doubt. It was a 1-run game until the top of the ninth. And then they sacrificed a guy home, it was a sacrifice, I believe, home. And then Stanton goes and pops I saw it. I'm like, well, shit, man, that's going out to Connecticut.
My uncle mentioned to me, Stanton looked real fidgety at the plate last night. Like, I don't know if he was just really juiced up, or I kind of noticed that. But
why would you say about that? Using words like juiced up, man.
I didn't mean it like that, but I meant not juiced up steroids. There's tests for that now. I meant excited. Look, man, that Yankees offense, where's the holes? I mean, the 9-hitter they put in last night goes and hits a home run.
Yeah.
They just look great. I mean, Voit, LeMahieu starts the game off with a 9-pitch single. I mean, he's unbelievable. Like I said, Voit, Judge, Stanton. You got guys like Gardner who are just solid. I mean, that lineup is.
And Gardner didn't
come about.
And Gardner didn't even start last night. They started the other guy.
He hit a home run.
Frazier. Yeah, Frazier.
Right, Clint Frazier. Right. He hit a home run. I mean, and to think they got Voit from the Cardinals, like Coach said before, for nothing. I mean, just what a steal. And this Yankees team, too, it's crazy to think, because they're missing Severino. They're missing, and Paxton still may come back next round, they say.
Right.
We're missing Paxton, and then Herman, who won 18 or 19 games last year.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to think, they look good. They look
because really everybody forgets, the Yankees, they're struggling with their pitching, but really, when you get those pitchers back, you have Cole, Severino, Paxton, Herman, Tanaka. I mean, that's a hell of a 5.
Yeah.
A hell of a 5,
Right.
So,
we'll see. I had the Yankees straight last night and -1.5. So I was sweating it, because obviously in the 9th they were only up 1, and then they hit the grand slam.
Oh, what inning again was that?
Yeah, the 9th. You were right, Captain.
Oh, I was good 9th. Fine. I was half asleep. I'm like, geez, man, I can't stay awake anymore. He hit that grand slam. I don't think he finished rounding the bases. I was in bed.
Now, were you surprised, Coach, the Yankees are going with the young kid tonight, Garcia, over Tanaka?
No. I'm not surprised. I mean, okay, I'm a little surprised, but I think if Yankees lose game one, we don't see the kid, because it's a must. It's more of a must win. But I think now this is kind of a let's put him out there. There's not as much stress on it as what if you started Tanaka and you're 1-1 and he's got to start, he's starting game 3. It's dicey. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good spot for him. The offense is revved up. They're going to give him some runs. So I think it'll be comfortable for him with that. And I think it's more pressure on the Rays because the Rays use so many pitchers. And the Yankees got into that bullpen last night and used a few guys. So with this being a 5 days in a row, guys are going to have to pitch on short rest. So we'll see.
Yeah, and what's good too, they haven't really exhausted too much of the bullpen. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The one thing I can't stand though, I think is total bullshit. It should have been the Rays playing the Astros and the Yankees playing the A's. And in the National League, the Dodgers should have got the Marlins and the Braves should be the playing the Padres. I mean, the Dodgers had the best record all year. They should have had the lowest seed. It's not fair. I mean, now Braves were losing today, came back, fought back, win 9-5. But, the Padres were the second best team in the National League this year, and the Dodgers get them in the second round. That's bullshit. It's not right. Yeah.
And why did they do that?
Makes no sense, Captain.
What was the reason? I mean, there is no other playoff system that I know of.
Right.
That, it's just like, well, we're going to arbitrarily put the let me rephrase that because it was a bracket. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the brackets were put out earlier, but the way the brackets were drawn was stupid. Mm-hmm. That's my point is that it's normally high, low, high, low, high, low all the way through. Because that's the advantage of being, the higher seed is that you're going to figuratively get a lesser opponent and you keep going because you get the advantage of being a higher seed. There is no rhyme or reason to the way that they did that bracket. I defy anybody to show me another bracketed system for a playoff system that was as wrong as that one. I mean, they've even gone ahead and said that they're going to they redid the numbering in hockey this year, I believe, when they did the playoffs as well. So it's always high, low, and that's the way it should be.
Well, no, hockey always reseeds. After each round, it's reseeded. So I think that's the way they need to go.
They reseeded, but
what Angela said is so true too. And Angela, the A's playing in Los Angeles is hurting them. They might have won yesterday. The ball flies out in Los Angeles. I mean, look, the Dodgers have some great hitters, but that's part of the reason they led the league in home runs.
No, I thought they're playing in Texas or Houston. They're in Texas.
A's are playing in LA.
Right. The Athletics are playing at Chavez.
Why are the Yankees playing in San Diego?
Because, it makes no sense. I have no clue.
Because they want. I mean, this is not authoritative, but I'm thinking that the baseball wanted to say, while we got a weird situation, let's have American League teams play in National League parks and vice versa. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's
stupid.
Right. So why are they playing it? I thought they played in Texas.
They will for the CSs and the World Series.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense. I think the Dodgers earned to play the lowest seed coming in. I think the Rays earned it. I really did. I mean, I know it's only 60 games, but still what was put in front of them, they kind of took the lead out in front and deserved that. And you don't know how it plays out. I mean, look, I wouldn't be stunned if the Padres upset the Dodgers. Let's not forget Clevenger's back today now. They're one of their best starters. So you get him back for game one. I mean, I like the Dodgers, But there was a reason I said, too, about the Padres winning it all. Because, I mean, look, I'd have rather seen them meet in the NLCS, obviously. I think that would have been more fair. I mean, look at the Braves now. You know, they had the third best record, and they're playing the Marlins, who are in their division, too. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And once again, this is why baseball is where it is. I mean, it's yesterday's thinking, you know. It's the problem with baseball. It's too slow of a sport. It's too many games. A lot of things need to change. Now, they did do the DH, which I hope they stick with next year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know,
I
I
agree
think
with
it's
that,
just, but we'll see. It's baseball. I mean, they kind of do things ass backwards.
They do. They're stuck in 1899. You know, I mean,
Right.
Let's face it, that's where they're at. So, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a shame because they're going to have a lockout this year coming up with the collective bargaining and whatnot. It's going to be a strike. It's going to be another shortened year. So it's going to be it's going to be kind of crazy.
Now, Captain, did you watch the Chiefs game last night?
I watched a couple minutes of it.
Okay, I'll tell you this, man. The Patriots were finally the ones that got screwed last night, and Belichick finally made a mistake.
I saw that. That was one of the things that I saw.
The interception, Captain. Wow, they really got screwed, and Belichick was arguing with the official because he was mad they didn't let the play go on, not knowing Andy got it out and punted real quick. Good move by Andy. But that was a huge play in the game. Mm-hmm. I know people look at the box score this morning and see 16 points. That was a very close game. The Chiefs were on the ropes, man, and Patriots were down 6-3, and Hoyer takes a sack at the end of the first half, too.
And they should have had at least one more play.
Yeah.
To at least tie it up. Would have been, granted, you never assume a field goal, but it was likely that they would have had a field goal, which would have made it 6-6 at that time. And so, again, the parts that I were going back and forth on, because I was going between the baseball game and the Chiefs game. And so I saw some entertaining things. I missed the interception by Tyrann Mathieu at the end. I actually missed that. So I didn't realize, like, how the hell did he score again? They just scored. So when I saw that, I just like, no matter. I'm watching the Rays game because that was more entertaining because it was closer. It was a 1-run game.
Right. And they benched Hoyer too. I don't know if you saw that. They put Stidham at the end of the game.
Well, there you go. I mean, that I got really nothing else to say. I think that maybe that was a concession that you need to play your guys when opportunity affords it. If you know you're going to lose, then you bring it out as a practice session. Because remember, there was no preseason this year. They got to go out there and play the guy because God forbid, Cam's out for a little while longer, and then Hoyer gets bent, and then you throw a guy into the mix that literally has had no throws this year. Granted, he had some last year during the preseason and whatnot, but why subject your guy to a ensuing ensemble of just getting his ass handed to him without any practice at all? Yeah. And I agree. Cam Newton would have definitely made a difference in that game.
Yeah,
I agree. And Belichick gave you the book a little bit on the Chiefs. The Patriots had a lot of success running the ball, had long drives, but what he was doing too big time was they were only blitzing 3 and dropping 8. And on the passing downs they knew about, they were blitzing, only sending 3 and dropping 8 in the coverage. And Mahomes was having trouble. Now, he got him for a couple runs because when you're only sending 3, if they go wide and the hole develops, it's going to be tough. But they were successful at it, and they weren't getting touchdowns. I think last night was the first game in, years that they didn't score a touchdown in the first half.
Right. And in fact, when they finally got their touchdown, I think they said it was 42 seconds to go. At the end of the third quarter, you go 42 seconds more, that would have been the first time that a Andy Reid-led Chiefs team had not scored a touchdown in 3 quarters. But de facto, they scored in the third quarter, but really they didn't. If you're looking at it as a positive for you, but yeah, if you're going to give, it's one of the things. Okay, well, let him beat us with his legs. But we're gonna, and they were saying, especially when it was deep, towards the end zone, there's not a lot of room to have people run behind you. That negates all the speed. So you flood the zones. You had those guys that go wide. You make sure that there's a lot of people in and around the field. And again, then you rely on Mahomes to run. And the other thing is that the Patriots guys that they actually did have, and this infuriated me. Shalik Calhoun, who was a bust for the Raiders, actually played. He was the guy that actually had the tip on that ball that Belichick was all pissed off about. He was a friggin' bust for us. Could not even get into a lineup and worth his roster spot. He goes to New England and he's playing like a not an all-pro, but a very key piece of that defensive line.
That happens a lot with the Patriots. You saw it with Patrick Chung. He went to the Eagles and had no success 1 year and gone back to the Patriots, and he's in the Pro Bowl. So I just think Belichick is very good at making players play to their positives and hide their negatives. That's one of the great things he had. And look at yesterday. Without Cam to put the game on. And look, that play was huge because if they get that turnover, maybe they score a touchdown and go up 4, and it's a different game. And, Coach, if you could put up what Angela said, Angela, Sunday night I started watching it, and then the Eagles came on. I was watching Captain a little bit too, going between. So I saw a couple minutes. I think it said the Bay to Mandalay Bay or something in that realm. Looking forward to it, though. I'm actually going to watch it tonight before the Yankees game when we get off here.
Yeah, notice he threw that in there, threw me under the bus too. So I said, well, the Eagles were on and I was watching the Captain. So
wasn't I in Captain? I was commenting a little bit. Hey, man, the Eagles were actually winning for once, Captain, and playing a good game. I had to watch it. I don't know how many times I'm going to get that this year, Captain.
Yeah, I was just wonderful. It's like that was important because the Eagles. Oh, I actually was kind of watching the Captain too. So it makes Angela feel worse, is what I'm saying, Nick.
Oh, okay.
That was the point. That was the point. I loved having you in there. That was not the issue. It's like, please, no. Blame it on the Eagles. Don't blame it on me. There you go.
The one part I did see was Angela in the limo, and I saw Jason Dean, the Demon King, getting out as well too, man, and all his dress up. They look great. So, but I am looking forward to watching that tonight.
Well, you know what? You're even ahead of me. I actually got to go over to their, and I'm admitting it. I haven't watched it yet, so I actually have some things to watch. Hopefully before our show tonight, and if not, then I got some homework tomorrow. Yes, dear. I know how to say yes,
Andrew,
dear.
I'm homeless right now, but once I get to a steady spot for more than a few hours, I'll make sure I,
And Coach, your internet's gotten worse. Your internet's gotten worse, Coach.
You know what, man? I've got a tin can out the window trying to hijack the neighbors, people down
Wi-Fi.
the road, their internet stuff. So, hey, it is what it is, So I don't know. What do you got? Strippers walking back behind you or what, man? You got stuff going by. Keep walking back behind the stripper.
Hey, man, it's the playoffs. I got guys taking action in my other room, man. Let it go. Got a big game in basketball tonight too. I mean, because I got the Lakers to win the whole thing. So, it was Clippers or Lakers. So it was what you call a prop bet, but it was even money, so I took it. I mean, man, if the Lakers don't win tonight, watch out. And I haven't heard anything on Bam Adebayo yet either.
He's playing.
Is he really, Captain?
Yeah. The last thing I saw, and granted, it was just a blurb as I was doing other things, and it said, Adebayo plans to play.
Wow.
Tonight.
Now,
I mean, that's the source. I didn't delve into it any further.
Right.
I just thought scroll.
But if the Heat were somehow to win tonight, boy, will the Lakers really regret how they played in Game 3, especially Anthony Davis. They took the foot off the gas. They were crowning themselves, as Denny Green would say, as we said last night. And it doesn't work that way. You still got to play the game. And I hope I think so too, Angela. I think you're going to see a very inspired Lakers effort tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Hey, is it too early, Nick, to take Miami into points?
Against Clemson or tonight?
Yeah.
Which one?
Miami. I'm sorry. Do you?
No, not 2 touchdowns. I think they can hang it. Look, Clemson's played really nobody yet this year. They played Wake Forest and only won by 24. I mean, look, it's hard to get a gauge on the U. The best team they played was Louisville. They beat them by more than 10 points. They look good. I know that nobody wants to consider the Florida State game a win because Florida State sucks. But look, I think the U looks good. And King, the quarterback, is the real deal, I think. I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think 14 points is too much. I would definitely take the 14. I wouldn't lay it. I mean, I know Trevor Lawrence is great, but Clemson's a weird team. They're a very weird team.
Yeah, I was going to say, watching what I know, and trust me, just the words that are coming. So yeah, I just threw up a little bit in my mouth, knowing what the words are about, Miami. But they're a damn good team. And yeah, Clemson ultimately will win, but it's going to be if it's a 14-point spread, I wouldn't take that. I don't think they're going to beat them by that much.
Big game for your Gators too, Captain. Going to be a nice weekend of college football. They got Texas A&M, so some good games. And then Georgia plays Tennessee, and I think Tennessee's a fraud. I mean, they do look better. Don't get me wrong, better than what they were putting on the field. But I think Georgia will show you Tennessee isn't a. I don't think they're a top 15 team. They might be fringe top 25, but they're not a top 15 team. I think Georgia handles them on Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to say because Florida and Georgia flip-flopped in the polls just based upon, I guess the Gators had that great win the first week. I can't remember who they played, but they had that really good win. And
Your boy.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin, baby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had that really great win.
And got his first win over Kentucky. It's a process. It's a process.
Because Kentucky, the kid from Kentucky gave him the peace sign before he was going over for that touchdown. I think that's basically the points that they needed to win, and it was taken off the board. Correct?
I don't know.
You know what? A win is a win, Captain, and I don't care. It's
a nice win for Ole Miss, though. Kentucky's a decent team. I mean,
right. It's look, you're right now, you're Ole Miss, you're at the bottom of the pack. Kentucky's considered a middle of the road team, okay? And unfortunately, you had to start off the season against the top of the cream of the crop, Florida. And when you face Florida, Georgia, Alabama, it's going to be tough. So, you got to get a win where you can get it. And
and he does play his old coach.
Baby step, and that's a good win, beating Kentucky. Because they're higher station than you right now because you're building your program.
But they're going to take an ass whipping against.
In 4 or 5 years, Captain, we'll talk.
You got to get new internet, man. You don't hear us talking. It's bad. They're going to get their ass kicked again about Alabama, though. It's going to be rough.
And Coach, if whoa, trust me on that. I'm hoping I'm here in five years to have that conversation, because any day that means that I made it to 60, and fuck yeah, that's a goal. That's a goal to get it to where there's a 6 in front of. How old are you? Well, I'm 60 years old. That's a goal. So if I get there and we have that conversation in 5 years, and you can say, remember 5 years ago when you were barking at me for Lane Kiffin, blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, but you know what? At least I'm fucking here. I'll take that as a win. Trust me on that one. If I have to listen to you,
because someone didn't get a win, some sad news outside of the sports world. Eddie Van Halen passed away today.
Did he really?
65. Yeah. 65.
I didn't know
cancer.
Yeah, I didn't know it either until Coach told me on pregame.
Now, one thing too we saw too was I said to Coach this was going to happen. Everybody thought, oh, watch out, Leach is in the SEC now. They beat LSU. Until they didn't. They lose to Arkansas on a bad loss last weekend.
Right.
A bad loss. Right. I mean, that is a bad loss. Arkansas is not a great program right now. So, and only score 14 points, too. I told you, the SEC is a whole other animal, and I think it kind of shows you, too. LSU lost a lot of good players. They're going to struggle to win 6 games this year. Watch. It's going to be tough for them.
Yeah. And I already had it with let me see, what's his name? Wade Raider. Oh shit, I can't remember his character name. Fuck. Who's the guy that with the red suit, and he's with the thing over his face, the Marvel character.
Iron Man?
No. Red suit, red spandex
Captain America?
with the big eyes, the big black eye, and he's dead.
Man.
Oh, Deadpool?
Deadpool, thank you. Yeah, Deadpool Raider is a big Arkansas guy, and when I had my Gator shit on the other day, he's like, "Oh, wait until whatever September, whatever, we're gonna be there." So that's what it was. So yeah, I've already had that Arkansas discussion, and the funny thing is, and you said it right there, Arkansas is not a good team, but Arkansas pulls out 1 or 2 wins a year where they beat somebody that they're supposed to be taken advantage of. And I'm just hoping that they don't do it again against my Gators, because the SEC is the SEC is the SEC. It's the best conference in
any
football.
given Saturday.
Yes,
there
it
you
is.
go. That's right.
Is. No, you're right about that. It's the truth. Now, Captain, are you because like I said, with Belichick, I think this might be a decent spot for the Raiders. I mean, the Chiefs are a juggernaut, but if you look in 2 of their 4 games against the Chargers and the Patriots, the Chiefs didn't look too great. They really didn't. That offense was kind of slow. You can run the ball against them. You got to use the Belichick Giants game against the Bills, where time of possession, run the ball, long drives, keep Mahomes off the field as much as you can. But if the Raiders can run the ball against the Chiefs, which that's one of the Raiders' strengths. And look, you got a Chiefs team that are 4-0, coming off a Super Bowl year, feeling good about themselves. Because they got to take one of these next 2 games, either this or the Bucs. You don't want to be 2-4 and have 4 straight losses going into the bye week.
Right, and I really think that it looks to be. I think the Raiders will be 3-3. With the win against the Buccaneers, I know I'm projecting past. I'm giving them, some rest at the bye week, and maybe some changes will be made defensively. But I said I just want to have a game where they keep it close and don't get boat raced by Kansas City, and that's obviously this weekend. And if they can keep it close against Kansas City, I see a lot of positivity through the end of the year. After those first 6 games, it gets a lot easier because you had it's like a boxer that just gets pounded. The first 6 rounds, since 6 games will go 6 rounds, and then the rest of the fight, the other guys are punched out. And, hopefully the being punched out, the opponents are not up to that par. I hope that the Raiders can do well. And, maybe that one extra day of that short week, in consideration that it was supposed to be a full week of rest, vice a short week of rest. But remember, Kansas City doesn't have to go anywhere. They're staying there in Kansas City. So that extra rest thing really kind of goes out the window when you don't have to move for your next.
But they've had 2 weeks with Monday night games, though. So they are on a short week, because obviously they were supposed to play Sunday. So they're on a short week. Now, what's crazy, though, is the point spread of this game, the Chiefs are favored by 13 points. That is extremely high. I thought maybe 8.5, 9, maybe 10, 13 points. A lot of points, man. I know the Chiefs, but that game yesterday wasn't a 16-point game. They got a pick 6 late, and it kind of got out of hand. That was a close game. The Patriots really should have covered that game yesterday.
Yeah, I think
without Cam.
I think the reason why that they have a 13 spread on the Raiders is because the last several years the Raiders have gone to Kansas City and just get shellacked. But normally that's at the end of the year in colder weather, and that weather difference is going to be different for this game. It's really going to be a godsend for Oakland, in that you're not playing against the elements and the guys in red and the zebras all at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, part of it too, I think, is obviously too is the Raiders defense hasn't really shown anything, and they're projecting, that Chiefs offense may light it up, and then obviously if you get behind Bless you, Coach. If
Bless,
you get
bless.
behind
Thank
two
you.
scores and the Raiders can't run the ball, you're now taking the Raiders out of what they like to do. We saw it with Tennessee last year in the AFC Championship where the Chiefs jumped on them, and it was just 10 points, and the Tennessee had to completely change their game plan in the second half and take them out of the game plan, and it was just all Chiefs after that.
Actually, to be honest, I don't really think that the Raiders need to get out of that game. I mean, if they're up by a lot, they're up by a lot. Continue to do what you do best, and maybe that they'll have, then you start going into, maybe the fucking defense will get a turnover and give you those points. If you're great at running the ball, and granted, I'm hoping that will happen. Maybe we'll get Trent Brown back, but they actually asked Gruden on that the other day about, what do you think about Brown? And you can just look at his expression like, oh, that fat fuck who can't get on the field. Well, we're kind of hoping, and we'll plan it day by day. And in Gruden speak, it's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about the son of a bitch. But if they do get him back, it would definitely improve the right side as far as running the running game, and it just would improve the line all the way around. And we'll see. Next man up, and hopefully we'll get some guys back healthy. And like I said, Ruggs was almost ready to come back last week, and that threat of the long ball, we're going to definitely need somebody that could run. And the other kids can run, but I'll take a guy that runs a 4.27 over the guy that runs like a 4.45, and I'm not quoting what Aguilar can run. He's fast, but he's not 4.27 fast. So hopefully that'll be a difference.
And he'll stretch the field. There's no doubt about it. But what about with this whole Trent Brown thing? Is there stuff getting out? I don't understand why everybody thinks he quit. Maybe he's got a legitimate injury. What's the background to that?
It's not being said, but conjecture is he's loafing and he doesn't want to be there. That's what Jason Dean said. He quit on the team. And it's like he doesn't want to play there. And if that's true, then I hate saying it. If it's true, then fucking get rid of him.
Yeah, he got $66 million, didn't he?
Something ridiculous like that. He's got over $60 million to eat Twinkies. And the bad thing is that you don't want somebody like that in the locker room as a cancer, because the other people see it and say, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. I'd like to get something for him. You're never going to get anything of that much value back, but I'll take two guys that actually want to fucking play for you than one guy who takes up $60 million and all he does is eat Twinkies and complains.
Yeah. Now, I think they're not doing it because it's a short week, but I'll tell you, I think, and it might be both teams, Falcons and Jets. If they lose again, Falcons were embarrassed by Green Bay last night, and Green Bay had no Lazard, no Devontae Adams, and now the Falcons had some injuries in the secondary, but still the backup tight end had 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers was like 22 of 22 to the running back and tight ends. Just lit them up. I think Dan Quinn's days are obviously numbered. Him and Blank aren't on the same page. I thought he might lose his job today, but I really think especially, if they go 0-5, you may see both of them go on this weekend. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I think now that Dan, the first one, O'Brien fell, O'Brien. Now you'll see these other guys.
You're thinking of the guy who did that decathlon, Dan O'Brien, Bill O'Brien.
Oh, I said Dan. I'm sorry, I meant Bill.
Yeah.
Bill O'Brien.
Hey, which was the one that didn't make the Olympics after McDonald's did all of the promotions for him?
I think it was Dan O'Brien.
Yeah, because it was the O'Brien and the other guy, and then they were like, "These are the."
They both named Dan.
Yeah, I think Dan Jansen, maybe.
Dan. I'll look
Dan
it up.
Jansen, was it Dan Jansen?
I don't know.
Or was he the speed skater?
I know, because Nike did those commercials. Dan and Dan, like Dan. I thought it was Dan and Dan, Dan and Dave, something like that.
Dan and Dave. It might have been Dan and Dave. I'm looking it up now too, Captain. We'll see who can get it first. Maybe you'll probably have to be quicker than I am with that. Dave O'Brien.
Yeah, as we wait for the. the PD to get
It,
that
it
going.
says Dan and Dave, so it's Dan O'Brien, and I'm seeing who the hell the Dave is. It just says Dan and Dave. 1992 Barcelona. Fuck, who the hell is Dave? It just says Dan and Dave.
I'm looking it up now. Dave Johnson.
Dave Johnson. Okay, yeah. I said it. It just gets spinning circles and said Dan and Dave. Sorry, couldn't get the other guy, but at least I had his first name.
Yeah, oh, and Brian was the one who didn't make it. Because I remember all that. It was a big campaign, and yeah.
Yeah, talk about, shooting yourself in the foot with a bunch of money for, he's got that. He's got that.
Stiz, and who are they playing? Because I think they're going to win. I remember seeing who they were playing. I said, but they're so banged up. I don't know. Like, literally last night, they were on their backup safeties, and I think and both their backup safeties got hurt. So, I mean, there's a lot of injuries for the Falcons. Julio Jones was playing situationally last night, only playing third down and red zone. And then in the second half, you didn't see him. Carolina.
They ain't beating the Panthers, man. They got the Panthers this weekend at home, and the Panthers are playing well. So that's a loss.
That's going to be tough. I mean, look, the Falcons are 0-4. Could I see them, getting a game on Carolina? It's possible, but I just wouldn't lay points with an 0-4 team. I just couldn't do it. That has no defense right now.
Now the following week, they're traveling to Minnesota, who finally got their first win. Yeah. And then the week after that, they're at home against the Lions. And there's that other coach that nobody's really talking about, the old D coordinator from the Patriots. How long is he going to last? Because he's on a thread in a quarter right now.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought they were going to beat the Saints. And I even said, look, it's still Detroit. Detroit jumped down the Packers and then blew the game. They blew the game for the Bears. And then, they did jump out 7-0 on the Saints. And then the Saints just, boom, just fought right back, came right back. And, I mean, I would think, Captain, if he doesn't at least get that team to 8-8, you would move on from him. And with that team, you're in nowhere land kind of. You're paying all that money to Stafford. I would honestly move on from Stafford. I think they're at a point where it's
I thought they were
going and rebuild. You blow it up and rebuild.
And honestly, I don't understand his thinking. I thought when Patricia took over, I thought it was time to get rid of Stafford at that point. He had some value. You could have gotten some return for him and moved on. But, you've kept him there. He hasn't played a full season in the last 2 seasons, he hasn't played full season. So, I just think they should have moved on, and it's really hurt Patricia sorely.
Yeah, and one big thing, too, to see is I'm really curious to see what happens with Tennessee and Buffalo. Because now is Tennessee going to play this week? I think that's a big question, because then if they don't, the NFL needs to come up with a solution. Because Tennessee's undefeated. They're obviously going to need that game to be played somehow. When's it get played? You know what I mean? So that's going to be a big question.
And I think that if that doesn't get played or if it doesn't get done, I believe that they're probably going to figure out, we need to redo our playoff itinerary and put that extra week behind 17 and call it, week 18, TBD week. And it's going to suck because it might just be like one team playing and then a bunch of other teams are off. But you're going to have that week for the just in case what the fuck week in the NFL this year if they don't get things off with a hitch like they should. Yeah.
And Stiz just put this up. Second round of testing, no positives. So so that's a plus,
Yeah, it is, and that's what I don't know if there's a certain amount of days with the protocol, but yeah,
I thought it was like 3 days in a row. Again, that's just a guess. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So then, and that's another weird line. Stiz, Tennessee, I think. Let me see where it's at because I have it right here. So it's Buffalo at Tennessee.
Before you get into this,
what?
Before you get into this, what was that? Your money bag?
Yeah, that's right. Get my cash out. No, I'm getting my battery out of my computer, buddy. The
I thought he
computer was
getting
ready
his
to die. I'm
big
looking at a guy
money,
who you're all distorted with, your camera's not clear at all. You're going in and out. You're talking over people, and you're going to complain because I walk away for 30 seconds to get my battery?
I'm not complaining. I just asked if that was your money bag or not. Jesus Christ, man.
Well,
I mean, he's always looking for an
know your
argument.
role,
This
Coach. Know your role.
I swear to Christ, don't make me come up there and smack you in the teeth, all right?
Don't use my word, Coach. Don't steal my saying. That's my saying. He knows.
I stole it, so too bad.
He did. Me and a caller one day really got into it, and I told him I'd smack him in the teeth.
Kumbaya. Oh,
But no,
Lord.
Tennessee's only a 1.5-point favorite, so a little surprised about that. I thought the Bills would be favored in that game. I think the Bills are a better team than Tennessee, but I guess we'll find out. Now, Coach, do you want my picks?
You got some picks? Yeah, let's put them up. Hold on a second. I'll get your picks up. Let me get your music in here.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Nevada Nick. I win money, you win money, even the coach wins money. Yeah, baby. When you're in the huddle with Coach Muddle.
All
right. So I'm gonna start with look, man. The Yankees are 3-0 for me. I'm staying on the train, baby. I'm staying on the train. I mean, they won 3 straight games for me. I think they've scored like 9, 10, and 9, or 9 and 11 and 9. I mean, it's been a lot of runs. They're clicking on all cylinders. They got the young kid going tonight, which, I think he's going to come out and pitch well. I think he's not going to really, the big scene's not going to phase him. They say he's a 21-year-old, very mature young kid.
Youngest ever started Yankee postseason.
What's that? Yeah, youngest. You're right. Youngest person ever starting for the Yankees in the postseason. So I'm gonna go. Look, I got to stick with the Yankees. Like I said, they won 3 straight for me. That offense is clicking on all cylinders, and I'm really hoping we get what everybody wanted to see last year, and that's I hope we see. Obviously, I'd like to see the A's pull it out for Angelo, but if not, I think the Yankees really want the Astros, and then I hope we see Yankees-Dodgers in a World Series because I think that would be one hell of a World Series. But yeah, so I'm going to go with the Yankees tonight. I do like the Dodgers tonight as well, and then on the basketball court, Lakers -6. I think they're going to come out tonight. They played bad in Game 3. I think they were embarrassed. LeBron walked off the court. The captain alluded to yesterday. Not happy. I think Anthony Davis got a lot of flack for his effort and getting in foul trouble so early. I think you're going to see those 2 guys take over the game, and it's going to make it. And look, they got to do something with Jimmy Butler because right now he was 40 points in Game 3. Put LeBron on him. LeBron's one of the best defenders in the league. Take Butler out of the game. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to take the Lakers -6 and then Yankees and Dodgers tonight.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Staying on. Hopefully stay on the roll. Staying on the roll. So
yeah, I'm hoping during the week it's been good. I'm 2 games over 500 on Sunday, but during the week, 9-1 last 10. Have been doing great during the week. But like I said, football's tough right now. I think I'm 14-12. Which look, you're not losing. I wish it was better. You know what I mean? But it's tough. The NFL's tough to gauge right now with the whole injury situation and no home field. And look, now you're starting, I think, to get a feel about these teams. And look, you got to bet the good teams, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens. Those are the kind of teams you just got to count on and try to figure out what the bad spots are. You want to go with the teams that are consistent, not the teams that are inconsistent. Although I will give you one this week. We'll see what the line is, but I'll tell you this. If Jimmy G doesn't play, I love the Dolphins against the Niners on Sunday. The Dolphins have been – and look, I wish the Dolphins would switch to Tua because I think Tua – if Tua played, they may be 2-2 or 3-1. Yeah, I think if Tua would have played Sunday, they'd have beat the Seahawks. I really believe that. I think he would just give that
I think they're nursing that hip a little more.
It's possible. I
do.
think they're letting them watch. Yeah, they're letting them watch Fitzpatrick too and learn. But
Right. Well, did you see what I put up? What Chris Lentz put up? The Raiders
What?
put Hurst on the COVID.
Yeah, and that's bad for Oakland because Hurst was actually playing really good for that D line because Malik Collins is he's had like some injury issues, and that's why Hurst was playing a lot more snaps. Now that Hurst is on the COVID list, you still have Collins out with an injury. That's not really good for that interior D line for Oakland or Vegas.
Wow. Yeah. No, you're right. We'll see. I mean, but like I said, it's been crazy this year with the injuries. Yeah, like I said, the Falcons, like their whole secondary's out. The Eagles, the Niners, a lot of teams are dealing with a lot of injuries. And back to the Dolphins real quick. Everybody sits there and sees, oh, this is a 1-3 team. Let's not forget who those 3 losses are to. Going into last night, the Patriots were 2-1, and then the 4-0 Seahawks and the 4-0 Bills, and they played them all very tight. So that's some pretty damn good teams right there that they lost to. And all the games, they were in it in the fourth quarter, and Fitzpatrick threw interceptions. And that's another reason why I think Tua is more accurate than Fitzpatrick and won't force the ball as much as him. So we'll see what happens. But I think – and they might, like Captain said, they might be waiting for that bye week or that part of the schedule that they feel comfortable. But I think, honestly, it's now. You're getting to play San Francisco with a lot of injuries, and then you got the Broncos at Denver, the Chargers. Now you do play the Rams at home, and you got Aaron Donald all coming after them. But still, I think that factors in good. The Niners are banged up. You got the Broncos, the Chargers. Maybe it's time to put them in.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see that too. Stiz put up Chubb and Eckler.
Yeah.
That's just 2 more guys, 2 more running backs out. And that's going to hurt. That'll help Captain's Raiders because Chubb's been good. Now, Kareem Hunt's still good. But
that
combination was lethal.
Right. Better one guy you have to worry about than 2 guys you have to worry about.
And it keeps them fresh,
Right.
Captain. When you go from that
Yeah.
14 to 15 carries to 25 carries, it's different to whereas if you're on the bench 50% of the time, keeps those legs fresh. That's why I'm a big component of platooning the defensive line to keep those guys fresh in the third and fourth quarter. I mean, I'm a big guy about platooning the defensive linemen.
Right.
Yeah, because you can't play 3 downs in a row. You never could.
No. And those long drives, man, you get wear out. And plus it keeps you good for the third and fourth quarter to keep that pass rush going.
Right, and the fact that Chubb and Eckler are out for 6 weeks means that it looks to be the Raiders won't see Chubb in 3 weeks, and they won't see Eckler in 4 weeks. And depending upon how bad Eckler is, then we might see him at a home game in December against the Garglers. But that's 2 games that we don't have to see half of the running back attack for Cleveland, the Cleveland Steamers, and the LA Garglers. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's tough too, because you looked at that schedule and you thought Browns, Chargers, but they're both on the road. I mean, so they got a real tough stretch here in the next 4 because like we said, Chiefs, Buccaneers, excuse me, but then Browns are dangerous and the Chargers are dangerous. So. I mean, and I think the Raiders gotta want to go bare minimum 2-2, so they're 4-4, but would be good to be 3-1 where you're 5-3. But as we've said before, that schedule really does ease up after that. Yeah, they got the Chiefs, but then it goes Falcons, Jets, Colts, Chargers, Dolphins, Broncos, which I see a lot of wins there, and 3 of the 4 of the end there at home. They should beat at Jets and out Falcons, I would hope. If they don't, Captain may have a coronary.
Yeah, well, hopefully not a coronary, and hopefully I'm back at work.
Yeah.
By the Falcons game because I'm supposed to be going up there to meet and greet everybody, but that's if I'm at work by Thanksgiving, and that's the Thanksgiving weekend game.
Oh, so you have to be working to go to it?
Yeah, because they're paying me to stay home. So, so if I'm not back at work,
gotcha. So you can't go anywhere. Gotcha. I didn't know they were telling. Yeah, okay, I got it now.
Yeah, it hasn't been stated, but it's one of those things that you it's obvious to somebody as old as I am that you don't tempt fate by something that is really obvious and unstated. You don't just do something stupid to say, you know what, you should know better than that. You've been in this business for 35 or so friggin' years. You don't do that shit. We paid you to stay home and take care of your health. And what are you doing? You're out on the fucking road. So there you go. Excuse me.
Oh,
So
yeah. Now, Coach, I don't know if did I talk about it yesterday? You know, the Giants are a 9.5-point underdog to the Cowboys. Another game that makes no sense to me. The Cowboys should not be laying 9.5 to Oklahoma Sooners, let alone the Giants. I mean, that's a lot of points for a team. I mean, look, they just hung strong with the Rams, who are much better than the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
And here's
I would take the Giants on that one. I would take the
So
Giants.
which one's going to give? The Dallas defense giving up almost 38 points a game, or the Giants offense that's only scored 3 touchdowns all season?
I mean, both, I think. I think the Giants defense is going to give up points to that Cowboys offense.
No, I think the Cowboys defense is giving up 38 points a game.
Right.
And the Giant offense has only scored 3 touchdowns so far.
Oh, the Giants are going to score this weekend. They're going to score. They're going to run the ball. They're going to stay. That Cowboys defense is horrendous. I guarantee you the Giants score at least. I think they're going to score more than 4 touchdowns, but they'll get at least 24 points at the minimum. I mean, that Cowboys defense is it's bad, man. Look at that OBJ run. And that just shows you just missed tackles all over the field. He was 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And then he still ran for a 50-yard touchdown. 300 yards rushing. I mean, it's bad tackling. Jalen Smith, who they gave a ton of money to, I mean, doesn't look good. The defensive line's not playing well. And that secondary, honestly, I think you could put me captain and Stiz at receiver, and we'd have a good game. I think we'd all go for over 100. and need oxygen at the end of the game.
Bring
what are you talking about? You have to have the oxygen packs with you.
Well, we'll roll it. We'll take them with us, man. We'll just put it on a cart and just roll it as we go. Do the pattern.
Right.
Catch one-handed, man. Catch one-handed. Coat it with the other one.
Now, Captain, what time you on tonight?
9 p.m. on Angela's channel. No.
Nope.
For Life.
Wrong channel. Just let Captain say it. He'll say it.
Yeah, For Life, our Raiders story. It's on Angela's channel tonight, tomorrow, and it's always a pleasure. I would be playing the production person, but Angela's going to have to do it because I cannot figure out how the hell to get the stream key pushed on the stuff that I do. So Angela's going to have to play production assistant and do all of that voodoo that she does well. So.
And it is For Life, the number too, not for written out.
Right.
The number For Life, our Raiders story.
Yes,
and it's OUR, just to
OUR. For Life.
Yep.
For Life, comma, if I'm not mistaken.
For Life dash, I think. I think that's what it is.
I thought it was one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Yes. Get stretched up, Stiz. Get ready. Hell, the Eagles may need us. You never know.
You never know. I was going to say, you dropped your streak. You got to start over again this weekend.
What streak?
Your losing streak.
Oh, okay,
He lost his cornhole. He couldn't get it in her hole.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't get it in her hole. They had to call the coach.
He didn't get his goal.
I was going to say, Stiz, I don't know whether you saw the comment or not when you were making the comment on it. I said, it is easier for girls to find that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. They're more of an expert. When you're an expert in the field, I'll go with the experts all day, every day.
I'm sure Stiz is going to be ready on Friday. Come back with with some vengeance on his mind. I'm sure.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, guys, we're going to finish up so I can get ready for some Yankee baseball. So everyone have some fun tonight. We'll be back tomorrow talking
Everybody
Yankees,
have fun tonight.
and obviously Lakers, Heat.
Everybody wang
Yes,
chung
Angela,
tonight.
we'll include a little bit of the A's in that, and we'll go from there. So,
And who do you got Yankees tonight, Coach?
why is that even a question? Who do you
I'm
think I
making
have?
sure. You never know. Oh, well, I figure you would be not a fan since you're a coach and an analyst, and that you would take the fan part out of
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry. I am a fan.
Okay.
I am a fan
All
when
right.
it comes to the Yankees.
All right.
And and I always say I try to keep my fandom out of it, but it's very tough
It
when I
is.
talk about the Yankees, the
It
Giants,
is.
the Rangers, and the Knicks. I mean, those are my teams, and
I
I
get
don't
it.
waver from them. And that's it. And it's very tough to keep my fandom separate, but so I can't bet on it.
I did betting on it just makes it better, man. Like my Eagles on Sunday, I bet them. I didn't bet them money line. I should have. I mean, money line was 3-1, so I would get if you bet 100, you get 300. I didn't bet them, but I took the 9 points. I said I loved them with the points. I should have bet on money line too, but no, man. When you're right about your team, like Captain was Monday night against the Saints, where you had that game where everybody doesn't think you're going to win, they go in, they win. And you win a money too, nothing better in the world. When I won money and they won the Super Bowl, I mean, man, that's living right there. Raise
Thanks,
or a lot.
Bush. Stiz just mushed it. Thank you. Yankees win.
The Yankees win.
You know what? Actually, and this is not a homer saying it, but I really like the way the Glass now pitches with the kid that's playing for the Yankees. I know they said that he is a stalwart 21-year-old that doesn't pitch like a 21-year-old. Maybe just it'll help that there's not a crowd there. I will give it that. That'll help him a lot. But you're still, if you get into the moment saying that this is the friggin' playoffs and this is my first, game against major league teams, and those are the best people in the American League by record. Maybe he shits a brick on the mound or not. We'll see. I like the way Glass now pitches.
Right. And Cap has established if the Rays do lose, the Padres are his third favorite team. I saw him with a Padres jersey on last week on one of his things. So now if they're out, that's his third favorite team.
I got lots of jerseys, man. I was back, and I will say this. If and when the Yankees win, I do have my Yankee jersey. I do have. The way that the A's are playing right now, I don't think I'm going to be wearing an A's jersey anytime soon. Sorry, Angela. And I don't have a Dodgers jersey, so and I refuse to wear a Braves jersey. I got plenty of Miami jerseys though too, but we'll see what happens. And I just bought a Pete Rose Philadelphia old school jersey, the powder blue.
Nice.
So if I get it in time. It's probably on a 2-week thing, but it was on sale, and I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna treat myself. So I got the Pete Rose Mitchell and Ness powder blue. If I get it anytime soon, I'll wear it. In fact, when I do get it, I'll wear it.
All right, cool deal. All right, everyone, join us tomorrow. We'll catch up. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow.